My name is Katie, and I am with LiveLung. I am the Director of Online Support Communities, and we have the pleasure today of talking to Chaplain Alex. Is that what we call you, Chaplain Alex, or Mr. Mercer? How would you like to be addressed?
Katie, yes, Chaplain Alex Mercer, but feel free to just call me Alex. I'm just a normal person. My title with LiveLung is Lead Chaplain because I'm spearheading creating the program, but feel free to call me Alex.
Fantastic. Well, I'm so glad to have recently gotten to meet you in person and learning about this, and that I would be the one doing the interview. Very, very exciting. Because in my background, I've had a lot of work with the National Comprehensive Cancer Network and a lot of facilities who support lung cancer patients. And one of the things that the NCCN created was the patient distress thermometer. And ideally, this page electronically, hard copy, however they do it at their facility, is supposed to catch the patients before they fall through the cracks, right? Whatever it is that individual patient has a need for, whether it's, practical issues, rides to chemotherapy, and spiritual care is on that list. But what I've learned year after year is that, unfortunately, spiritual needs, spiritual interests, those types of unmet needs are usually a lesser priority than the physical aspects of the disease and those kinds of resources. And so there's no one out there really providing this service. And what I think is absolutely amazing is that LiveLung is going to do this. And so I want to learn more about this. I want our folks to learn more about this. And what I really want to emphasize in our conversation today is that, this really is an unmet need, and it's not specific to one demographic of people, and that this is something that everybody should tap into at least once.
All right. Well, it is an underserved need. And I think what generates that is it's a sensitive topic. It's very easy if it's not handled correctly. It can become an argument of one religion versus another, and many in the medical field or in society in general see it as a personal issue. And what we're taught is we're to be encouragers of each other, and there's a way to encourage people in their spirituality and their connection with their higher power as they define God. I am a Christian, so if they want to ask me about my perspective from the Christian biblical world, I will love to have that conversation. But my role is to make everyone feel comfortable, no matter what religion they may be or whether they're agnostic or atheist. It's about being there to support this spiritual need. And it's not just me. It's about ensuring that they got a spiritual team around them, just like they have a medical team around them, and they've got LiveLung to bring them an educational team, an advocacy team. This is about helping build that team. And if their team is already connected with them, that's great. But if they don't, I'm here to help encourage that and help build that and be a part of that.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's get a little background on you. Can you share a little bit about yourself and your journey into becoming a chaplain, and really what drew you to working with cancer patients?
Absolutely. I think first we got to take one step back and define what a chaplain is, because in most cases when I introduce myself, later they'll come back and refer to me as a pastor, or they'll say, "Hey, pastor." And there's a distinct difference between pastors and chaplains. Pastors generally lead with their particular religion, their particular denomination, where a chaplain's going to first start with a ministry of presence. I'm here for you. It doesn't matter who you are and what the need is. I want to just give you an outlet, a confidential outlet, to be able to emote through the problem. And I'm not here to so much solve every problem as to maybe bring to light other options that can solve the problem and guide them to the decision they want to make. But again, it's for all. And then if someone does want to ask questions about God and specifically the Bible, I love to engage in those conversations, but it's that part I'm invited into. But if someone just needs a glass of water, that's what we're here to do. I just love helping people, and the whole nature of chaplaincy and being a ministry of presence is helping people, being there in their time of need. And when you have emotional duress, mental duress, and spiritual duress, having somebody alongside you is equally as important sometimes as that person that can drive you to your oncology appointment. In general, I look at it as a person's held up by 5 pillars. It's their spiritual health, their mental health, their emotional health, their physical health, and their financial health. And everybody has challenges to these at some point in their life, but cancer patients have a lot more challenges, particularly in the physical and particularly in the financial and particularly in the emotional. But emotional and mental are 2 different things, and spiritual is different than mental and emotional. Spiritual is about your peace with God predominantly. But I want to emphasize we're here for the emotional support, the mental support. But when you were talking about spirituality, is how to define that is, are you at peace with God as you define him? And we want to help you find that peace. So it's the excitement of helping guide people through a problem, be it their kid is strung out on drugs, be it that they are just going through a divorce, a relationship issue, maybe they got a financial issue and they're just duressed over how are they going to make the car payment this month. But one of the other ones is obviously the afterlife, and cancer patients, anybody going through any type of medical situation, but particularly cancer patients, they become acutely aware of their morbidity and mortality. So these questions rise to the top more than the average public. So that's why we want to make this available. And again, we're here to guide them through the situations in life, and we can't solve any problems. Some problems we will recognize that we need to pass on to a professional counselor. And to go ahead and give you that caveat, Katie, I'm not a counselor. I'm here as under pastoral care, just to guide conversations. But if the conversation goes more than 2 or 3 conversations, generally we are going to have a professional counselor involved.
That's fantastic. That's really good to know. So what I want to point out is maybe some of the nuances, the differences between LiveLung's chaplain program that is kicking off, and maybe what people currently have right now, which is they access a chaplain if they're in the hospital, maybe some sort of emergency or distress. That's where they see a chaplain, or maybe through their church where they might see their pastor. So why is the LiveLung program a little bit different than those types of programs?
Well, it actually has a lot of similarity, but to speak to where chaplains are, most time when you say you're a chaplain, the first question I get is, "Oh, are you a military chaplain? Or are you a police chaplain?" Because that's what most people associate chaplaincy with, is with those occupations, and they need them. But chaplains are everywhere. Most pastors, ministers, imams, rabbis, priests, they work inside their religious institution, predominantly ministering to their flock. A chaplain is out in the community. We're out to work with everybody. And they're not just in the military and the police departments and the fire departments. The EMTs need them. They're in the hospitals, which some people are aware of. If you're not, you can always request a chaplain if you're in the hospital. They're in the airports. That can be a very stressful moment. Very few people are aware that the president has a chaplain in the White House. The Congress has a chaplain on the floor to help them. So it's not something that you got to feel that you are unique and weird to have this. Our Congress people, our president has access to this. Why doesn't everybody?
Right. Ooh.
And to answer your question specifically, how is LiveLung different? It's because we're here to serve within this community, focus within the cancer patients, the cancer survivors, their caregivers, and their friends and family, anyone who around him, because it's not just them that go through this. The spouses are stressed out. The children are stressed out. The immediate family is stressed out. Everybody has concern. And so we're here for everybody in their sphere of influence that may want to just chat and talk and emote.
So, that's a great point. You bring up caregivers and care partners. What sort of support do you offer? Do you offer care partners? I mean, is this a resource that they could use when they're in some sort of spiritual distress or curiosity, or maybe, needing some additional help but not knowing where to go?
Absolutely. This is for everybody in their sphere of influence. And we really want to emphasize the care partners because they have a hard job. And while their role is different, it's the same in that it's stressful. It can be distressing. And to give you an example, recently talking to a caregiver, and basically it came down to she wasn't taking time for self-care, and they encouraged her just to take a 30-minute walk outside, clear her head, and also wanted to encourage her. There's so many people say, hey, can I help you? Can I help you? And the standard answer is, oh, I got it. And no, go ahead and ask and say, yes, sit here 30 minutes. I want to take a walk. And for that to help her quality of life, better equips her to serve her husband. So it is for the caregivers, and a lot of times they just want to talk about the person they're taking care of, and they need a confidential place where they can do that, where they know they can speak, and it's a safe place. And I want to emphasize, this is a confidential conversation when you speak to a chaplain. It's a safe place for you to talk. I cannot, under pastoral care, repeat anything of any conversation with anybody. The only two exceptions is if you tell me that you're going to imminently hurt yourself or another person, then I am under obligation to report that to help someone not get hurt. But unless you're telling me you're getting ready to hurt somebody or hurt yourself, everything is confidential. It's private. When I write something in my prayer journal, and I'll come back to that, it's a serious matter for me to keep that private. And when someone says, pray for me or pray with me, that's not just a cliche. I'm going to do it. It goes in the prayer journal, and I'm going to keep praying over that situation.
Yeah, I feel like that is definitely something that we can't get enough of, right? It's a great tool to have in our toolbox. The ability to have somebody on your side and to encourage that type of support. So, can you describe how you will be supporting our folks through LiveLung? I mean, what is the process like? Is there a phone number? Is there a link? Do we have to, fill out an application? How does that work?
There's no formal application. It's just reach out to me. And LiveLung's going to be publishing my telephone number as well as my email, so they can feel free to get me. I am not 24-hour access. I do cut the phone off when going to sleep or out to dinner with the wife, but I will call you back. I will talk to you. And everybody who gives me a call is important. We know all concerns we have are important to God, no matter how big or how small. And so I want to have that same attitude. Nothing's too trivial to speak to me about. And again, I may not have the right answer. And generally, if it's a female, I'm going to try to connect, have the conversation, but then connect them to a female chaplain to continue the conversation. But I'm available for all. That's the main two ways, is the email and the phone number. I would like to go. I am going to be going to as many LiveLung events as possible in person, so you can have put a name with a face and create relationships. And as much as I can be around people, it helps you have a confidence and also just a rapport that you can reach out. Unfortunately, with the demographics of the LiveLung community, with chapters geographically all around the United States, I can't do that with everybody, but I am available by phone, by email, and it's going. And like I said, LiveLung is going to publish that. And thank you for that question. That's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's go back just a little bit about the service, this program, and your approach. You spoke about your approach to spiritual care, non-denominational, and for everyone. How can we emphasize this to folks who may be of different faiths or who maybe have no religion? You may have some spirituality, but don't really know anything about religion, or maybe someone like me who did not grow up in a church, who has had to search for somewhere to land.
Well, again, want to emphasize this is for all. It doesn't matter what religion, what denomination, whether you're agnostic or atheist. We want to have everyone walk away feeling loved. That's the whole thing. It's about the person. It's not about me. It's not about a religion. It's about the person. And if they want to bring in the conversation with God, I will do that. And again, this is generally a situation most people do like to hear a perspective of what we have, answers on God. But if someone's a Buddhist or a Hindu, whatever it may be, and they just want to emote through a problem, that's fine. That's fine with me. And if I ask, would you like for me to pray, or would you like me to share what the Bible may say, and they say no, I respect that and don't bring it back up. For those that are hesitant to go to that specific of the question, I just say the only way to get comfortable is try it. When you're in the springtime, when you go out to the pool, and the only way if you're going to like it is to jump in.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can get back out. But and if you want to just kind of dip your toes in the water and kind of feel if it's good, just give me a call. Let's just have a chat. And I think also, Katie, I want to emphasize, you haven't got to wait till the problem happens. If you just want to call and say, hey, let's have a conversation about you.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I want to emphasize, this is about the person. So I'm here to listen more than I'm here to speak.
Yeah.
I want to hear you. I want to hear your story. I want you to be able to speak out what you're going through. It's amazing what we've seen with PTSD studies and other things, that just having a safe place to speak out your problem does an enormous amount of good of you being able to de-stress, come to peace with it, and handle it. And not be able to continually carry it emotionally and mentally and spiritually. Because when you take a problem and you bottle it in, it keeps eating you up, and it affects you physically too. It's not just your mental and emotional, spiritual. So to just have that safe place to speak, it's and going specifically using PTSD as an example, what we've seen from the stats, if someone has an ability to just talk out their problem and have someone empathize and understand what they've gone through, reduces the chance of retaining that by 80%. If you address that problem in the first 30 days. So we just wanted to let you know, if you're going through something, don't bottle it up, and don't hold on to it. And you're right. Some people might have a relationship already with a pastor, a minister, an imam, a rabbi. But if they do, great. I'm not here to replace that. I'm here to just supplement that.
Yeah. I think that's really important. I love how you brought up PTSD as a cancer survivor and someone living with chronic disease. I always say it's OTSD, ongoing traumatic stress. It's something that we deal with every day in a million different ways, and it is an aspect of mental health wellness to have a safe place to discuss things that you're going through. And especially in my situation as a caregiver, you're not venting to your person, because you're caring for your person. So having someone who understands and having someone that you can talk to about some real things and just to have somebody listen is great. It's a great thing. So tell me, Chaplain Alex, how much does it cost to utilize the chaplain service through LiveLung?
This is a service LiveLung provides. There's no cost to it. Just like there's no cost to any part else of the program. This is here for the participant. So it's a role that I've taken on as a labor of love. And so no cost to the person at all. We're just here to be available.
So they don't need insurance, Medicare. They don't need to pay for this. This is not, through their, okay. And this is what I love about LiveLung because it's expensive being a cancer patient. Mm-hmm. Just even having to pay for parking when you go to treatment and all of these other things. So being able to tap into your expertise, even just one time, even just to ask a question, I think is so valuable. So I'm really excited. I'm glad that this is kicking off. What drew you to this work? I mean, why cancer patients? Why lung cancer? Why live lung?
Well, my wife. My wife has worked in oncology as an oncology drug rep many years, and post-retirement, she's closely involved in the advocacy for cancer patients. And I learned a lot more about this cancer community and saw the need. And so it just kind of drew me that we want to love on the cancer patients. And what makes me sad about specifically the lung cancers is the stigmas that come with it. And let's just be blunt. Some people call it the smoking disease. Some people say it's a self-inflicted disease. There's an element, even if you were never a smoker, you're almost embarrassed to say it because someone might associate with you with smoking. And we know factually that's not true. But there comes an element of shame, and we're not here to carry shame, to give you a spiritual answer. God came to take that shame so we don't have to feel that burden. And so there's a special need in the cancer community, but even more so in the lung cancer community because they don't need to feel shame. They don't need to feel afraid to talk about this. And we want to give them that safe space that they can.
Well, is there anything else that you want our membership to know about you, about the program, about your goals for the program?
My goal is for everybody to know they can comfortably approach me. I don't have goals of I need to speak to so many people about this or that. I think the goal is that everybody becomes aware of the program, that they are comfortable engaging in the program if they want to. And I think a great success is also if the communication goes out to their care partners and their other support network that they can utilize this too. It's not just for the participant, it's for everybody in their sphere of influence, which might be a doctor who doesn't have an outlet or a nurse. And it's amazing, just last week, someone who had been an advocate for lung cancer patients her whole life is now going through a traumatic situation with her husband extremely sick, and she now needs emotional support. So we don't want to discount anybody. All people that have a need are welcome.
I didn't know that we were including healthcare providers too. That's fantastic. I'm sending it, as soon as it goes public, I'm sending it to all my nurse navigator friends.
Well, it's for the whole support network of person. And the only way those people can fully support a cancer patient is if they're a whole person and healthy. And there's a lot, I tell people there's a big difference between perfection and being perfectly healthy. And being perfectly healthy is being able to handle life. And life's tough, whether you got cancer or not. Yeah. Life is tough. Life ain't fair. As when people tell me this ain't fair, a lot of times I'm sitting there thinking, who told you it was? No, life is hard. And we all go through trials and tribulations and seasons of even mild depression. And it could be just as much, losing an uncle or losing a cat. Yeah. it becomes an event that just can take you down if you don't have the opportunity to overcome. And grief and sadness is healthy for a short run, but being able to handle it and not prevent you from being able to move on in life is important. So that's a good thing that we want to see people do, is let them grieve, let them cry, whatever this season is that they're going through, but being able to handle it so they can go on and live the best life they can.
That's wonderful. I love it, love it, love it. For those of you interested in learning more about our chaplain program and connecting with Chaplain Alex, please visit us at livelung.org. And there will be a special area there where you can click and learn more about the chaplain program. And keep your eye in our Lung Cancer Network Facebook group, where we'll be posting little tidbits and little advice from Chaplain Alex. And we'll be giving you more resources for those who really want to tap into this service, and tell all your friends, because we're ready for you.